Hey digital identity friends, I'm Lance from Roots ID, talking self-sovereign identity. Roots ID is an open source development group that builds software for grassroots identity efforts that matter. We engage with SSI communities like Trust Over IP, Decentralized Identity Foundation, Carry, and Hyperledger, all with the mission of bringing SSI to the mainstream. Thank you to our sponsors at Catalyst and Atala Prism. Your digital data is a precious part of your digital identity, and being able to store it in the cloud so that it is accessible to all your devices is essential. Apps like Google Drive give us access to vast storage, hierarchical access controls, and apps for different types of data, including our photos, emails, and documents. Decentralized identity is meant to be a departure from the Web 2.0 silos that separate our digital identity and data and keep it under the control of third parties that generally have incentives to retain control. At the same time, a decentralized identity without a rich set of standards to connect all of the aspects of our digital selves can put us in new silos that are even worse than before. The Decentralized Identity Foundation is creating a specification for distributed web nodes to secure, manage, and transact data with others without reliance on location or provider-specific infrastructure, interfaces, or routing mechanisms. Here's an intro of DWNs from Alex.
Hey there, Alex from Roots ID, and in today's video, let's talk about DWNs. If you're new to it and you haven't heard of it, you're probably not the only one. The DWN specification is still getting reviewed and built. Well, you probably heard of a Web 5 announcement that the company Block made back a few months ago. If you read through their blog post, they mention three key technologies: DIDs, VCs, and DWNs. If you're from the SSI ecosystem, you're probably familiar with decentralized identifiers and verifiable credentials as they've been developed by the W3C, and they've been around for about a couple of years now. On the other hand, the DWN specification is relatively new. A little bit about the background on the DWN specification. DWN, unlike the other twos, a specification is coming out of the Decentralized Identity Foundation, which is a new standards body that has been built over the past couple of years specifically for identity standards, unlike the W3C, which is more general towards web standards. The DWN specification came out of the Secure Data Storage Working Group at DIF. The people there, they were in charge with creating a secure data storage layer with a minimum viable HTTP interface to access this data. What are DWNs? Decentralized web nodes are a storage and message relay mechanism that allows entities to learn one another's DIDs and personal and public and or private data. How does that happen? Well, a decentralized web node is a free software that anybody can run to have a message relay mechanism for their application. So in most applications, they usually have a client and a backend architecture. Well, with decentralized web applications, the client and the backend would kind of be one. With this shift in architecture, decentralized web nodes are needed to do some computation as well as being a secure data storage layer. So how do they do that? Well, they have 4 different interfaces that they implement. Every single DWN speaks these 4 interfaces. The first one is the collection interfaces that allows you to create data on your DWN. So let's say you want to define new schemas, you have new message formats, you have new data types that you want to store into your DWN. You do that through your collections. So once you have data in, you want to have people and yourself to have access to the data. So you will use the permissions interface. You most likely would like to share the data, and the DWN implements the hooks interfaces that allows you to push data to people that want to be subscribed to some changes in your data. So let's say you get a new message in your decentralized chat app, and you have 3 devices synced to your DWN. Well, the DWN will be responsible to send that message to all of your devices. And finally, we have the protocols interface. And this is one of the most important interfaces among the 4 of them, because we can see these interfaces as being a rule engine that allows us to define who can have access to what data and what are the circumstances. So you can define an applications at this level, defining a DWN protocol. So I will put an example here on the screen on how you can, for example, create a chat app. This should be relatively easy to define what data can get created in your DWN and who has access to what data. So it's relatively straightforward. Finally, if you want to learn more about DWNs, please join our every other weekly call at the Decentralized Identity Foundation, or join the Slack group as well as the Discord group. I'll put all those links down below. If you have any more questions, please let us know in the comments, and until next time, keep on learning. See ya!